Greetings. This is Arvette McLean with Speak, The Universe Listens. New ways to view age-old challenges. Change your thoughts, change your life. Step into the bigness of you.
Guys.
What's going
Hey,
on?
Steven.
Not much. I was thinking about this topic because for the past couple of weeks, probably longer than that, man, I have been feeling some type of way at work, right? So I was thinking about how can we find balance with our work life and just being who we are outside of work. Because sometimes you can be one way when you outside of work, and you probably be vibing high, but then when you get to work, everything just hits you, right? And then you lose all of your holiness when you at work. So it was something that I wanted to touch on today.
See, and I like this topic too because y'all know I just started a new job, and that's kind of that's kind of been the balance I've been trying to find, is how to bring what I enjoy and the parts of me that vibrate me the highest into the workplace in a new environment. Because it's like, all right, this is new, these are new people, like new interactions, but also the new people doesn't really change too much, because the only thing I want to change, not even want to change, the only thing I'm focusing on is me being at my highest self. So who's out here doesn't matter. But like still, it's interesting, like trying to make sure you're always presenting yourself as who you are, but also as your highest self at all times. Like, no, like this is the life I live, and like, yeah. So when you see me, high positivity, high personality, because that's just the way I live. So yeah, I've been trying to figure that out.
So when you say trying to figure that out, what do you mean?
Like, okay, like I don't know what I mean, but like an example, okay. Like I go into work, like I told y'all in the past, I like to make my cups of tea to start my morning. I meditate at the desk a little bit, and I really think about how the day is gonna go at my desk. At this job, I ain't been making no tea. I ain't been thinking about my day before I start. I get in there, I open up the computer, I read through some emails, then I fake read some articles, and then I start doing some work. So it's like I haven't really gotten to what I do yet, but I also know it's nothing stopping me but me from doing it. But it's, I don't know, it's being in a new environment. I'm like, the microwave in a different place, the people you're talking to when you're making your tea ain't the same conversations anymore. So it's just the adjustment of that, I think.
So for me, at my job, I'm known like the positive person or whatever. And just like a month ago or so, I remember like the negativity of the people at work was really getting to me. And so I'm like, why is this getting to me? Because this ain't new. They've been talking like this or whatever, you know, but I usually give them a different outlook, but they was really bothering me like this week or whatever. And so I had to realize that it was going on internally with me. And I had to kind of check myself at the door, like, hey, you point your finger at how they doing such and such to make you feel, but really, it's what's going on inside of me. And so once I was able to realize that and able to say, all right, this is internally that this is even bothering me, and I was able to switch how I'm feeling inside, then it ain't bother me no more.
Well, yeah, I already know about my work situation. But for me, I would say lately it's I have one coworker that has just been, it's like they just been pressing the button, right? Every day I come in and they are constantly in a state of complaining and so forth, right? And so for me, you know, I like to be a positive guy all the way around every day. You know, I wake up, I'm in a good mood. I do my routine, gym, you know, meditate before I go into work. And it's like I'm in this high vibration, and then when I get there, it's like a battery just draining off the phone. It just started dying, and I'm like, man. So I've been trying to, for quite some time now, try to figure out how can I keep myself staying at that high vibration, not just outside of work, but at work as well, because that's where I have the most, I don't say stressful situations, but most, you know, something like stress. I say something like. But talking to you guys, and you know, talking to you yesterday, it just made me realize that, and you touched on it too, Rodney, a little bit, that
Everybody except for
you touched on it too.
It ain't me.
But it was like I had to take a moment and reflect, like what's showing up in my outer world is a reflection of what's going on in my inner world. And for the life of me, I kept trying to figure it out. Like, dang, like, so what's bothering me? Like, what's making me be so irritated? You know what I'm saying? For it to show up in my reality. And lo and behold, you know, while I'm trying to figure it out, I mean, the answer was literally clear in my face the whole time. I just had to vibrate in the state of love, and everybody is already in their divinity already. So I'm sitting back, I'm like, today I felt a lot better. I was like, I said, okay, you know, I'm coming into work, I'm showing him love, you know, I'm scaring him off. You know? But I think for some people, sometimes that can be like a tug of war type of battle, trying to be your high vibrational self, and then you going into an environment as to where you have to fight to almost stay in that vibration.
Yeah. I like a lot of things you said, and I realized too that like when you're doing that and you vibrating high outside of work, and you feeling good outside of work, and then you go in this environment, and then it's just like it's just totally different. You know, you kind of like you say, your battery is draining. I noticed that like you might at first you might be able to, you know, just keep that at work, but it slowly trickles into when you leave there, you know, because that happened with me. I'm like, why am I leaving there and I'm still feeling, you know, not me? And so I realized that. And then I like what you said about seeing them in their divinity. That was a big key for me, because like when I started just appreciating people just like for who they are, and not putting my judgment on them, like that's wrong, that's right, you know, that type of deal, and you able to just see you for you. You're not wrong, you're not right, you just you. And then when I'm able to appreciate someone like that, that's when I'm able to keep my vibration higher, and whatever they saying or doing, not necessarily going to get to me, because I'm appreciating for who they are, whatever that is. It don't matter to me, because I'm just going to love them and appreciate them for exactly where they are.
And then see, like for me, I'm the type of person, like I'm like a sponge to people's energy, you know, and not just people energy, but any environment that I'm in. If I walk into a room and the energy is just blah, I'm gonna feel like blah, you know. And so that's something for me that I always have to sort of like check in with myself real quick and remind myself, like, can't nobody really make you get outside of your box unless you allow yourself, or you know, give them your power. You see what I'm saying? So constantly, you know, just try to remind myself about that, because you know I'm not perfect. I mean, well, I am, But you know, sometimes I always have to remind myself, you know, and I forget things sometimes, you know, because life can sometimes be life, and the things that we know, we don't. It can just slip our mind just like that, and we have to check back in with ourselves. So.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times we kind of forget to shine our light. Like we forget that, hey, I flipped this switch on. You know, a lot of times we forget that, and sometimes, you know, you're going through your day, you never even cut your light on. You know what I mean? So I feel like long as we able to remind ourselves, like, hey, you in control of your light. Shine it. Take the shade off. You know.
I think that should be the name of this podcast. Cut your light on.
Cut
Yeah, I
your
love
light
that.
on. I like that.
Love that one.
Yeah, so I definitely, for the past 7 months now, this is the conversation that I needed to have, like a constant reminder of. Like just basically turn the light on, because a lot of times in, you know, just like what I've been going through, I never turned my light on, you know, and then I'm allowing everything outside of me to affect me. And then doing one thing that I do, which is something Stephen does a lot too, is I want to figure stuff out. Like, okay, now why am I drawing this situation to me? So I'm taking all this time trying to figure this out when all I got to do is turn my light on.
And then that's something too. Like I have to work on that too. I'm aware of it. Is like letting go of the how and the why. You know, yeah, because it's so 3D, you know, and coming from a space of like my low vibrational self, it's almost like it's things that are happening to me, you know, in my present moment that are like what I've been going through at work, right? Sort of reminds me of my lower vibrational self, and then I start getting back into the pattern of doing what I used to do as my lower vibrational self, like how I think and how I go about moving throughout my day. So it's like, and that's what I meant by the tug of war, you know, factor, because I'm like, dang, I'm here now, and the old me was here, but I got my foot going tiptoeing across the line
Jumping in and
all
out
the time, right? And I'm like, you know, daggone well, you don't want to go over there, so why you even entertaining that, you know? So, and like you said, it's just a matter of cutting your light on.
And one thing that I've been thinking about is, like, a lot of times I'll tell, like, somebody's like having a hard time. And I'll say, well, the only thing you gotta do is such and such a thing. And the thing is really easy. But the person rather have a hard time. And sometimes people will literally say, I know that's all I gotta do, but I ain't gonna do it. I just wanna be mad. And you know, like, I get that, you know. But I've known people who will just stay in that space for like a year. Like, I'm gonna just be mad. I ain't trying to hear that. I just wanna be mad or whatever. And like, I didn't understand that. Like, why would you choose to be miserable for a whole year, you know? But then, like, by the same token, exactly what I've been going through for the past 7 months or whatever, like, I know, turn my light on. And I'll go through like this. I've been going through this. So I'll turn my light on, then I let it, I let the light down. Then I turn the light on. And I've just literally been on an emotional roller coaster. And like, I know, just turn your light on and shine. But it's something, I don't know what it is, and I don't have to try to figure out what it is, but it's something that keeps allowing me to go down. And I'm just like, well, how do I keep doing that?
Yes. I just wanted to speak on y'all talking about all the answers. And I feel like having all the answers is like, it only works in Jeopardy. Like that too. Like, it's just because does it really matter? because what we know is, all right, I don't want to feel like this no more.
Right.
So why I gotta figure out why I'm feeling like this when really I just don't want. I want to do away with this feeling.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like just getting there to let me cut on my light to feel different and not. Well, why my light dim? Oh, just flip the switch.
Yeah, I think for me, for that, like just having the mindset of trying to be the problem solver, trying to figure it out, is having that attachment to figuring out the problem. Because I can let that go, but yet I still have the attachment to problem solving. Because I problem solve a lot of other people's problems. So then when it comes to me and I'm trying to solve my own problems, I'm aware that there's nothing that I need to do. Just let it be. But then I go back to trying to solve my
Right, because we're used to operating in third dimensional reality, and when I shouldn't use the word slip into third dimension. I guess I could, but because it makes it sound like it's something less than fifth, and it's not. It's fine to be in third dimension, but it's just easier to be in fifth. So that's why I want to stay in fifth. But being in, it's like once you kind of get that foot over there in third dimension, then you start thinking in that way, and you start thinking in the place of fear, lack, separation, drama, struggle, like, and then you can problem solve from that mindset. But there's no problem to solve in fifth dimension, And like for me, the reason why I am trying to figure out like why this and why that, and why did I draw this, is because I want to be a witness to the proof that this works, right? That what we're saying is how it works. And so, like, did this bad situation just drop in my lap out of nowhere? Is that how things work? Or am I a contributor to it? Am I creating this situation? And so I'm like literally tracing back, like, okay, how did I create this? And that's kind of what I'm doing. Is like being a witness to, okay, this is what I've been doing that has now created this situation. But I know I don't need to do that. I know I just need to turn on my light. And I just love that you say this so simply like that. Just turn on the light. So if y'all hear me complaining, that's all you gotta say. Turn on the light.
You guys had me turn on my light yesterday.
It's crazy when you realize it's that simple.
Yeah.
Like, hold on, I don't have to be feeling like this.
Right.
It's my choice.
And then it be so simple, it's so simple, but yet you still be fighting.
Like, what am I doing?
Right, you're like, hold up. No.
Because for some reason we feel like life ain't supposed to be easy.
Right.
Like for some reason we just feel like that. Like, nah, we gotta go through something to get here. Or we gotta deal with this to get this. Right. When it's like, nah, but really we only want this. So can we skip all of that?
Right. And I just want to comment on something Stephen said, because what he just described, like he was like, when I go into an environment, I take on them. So it's so many of us like that, right? Like, empathic people or whatever. And I have always been an empath. Like, I can just walk. So that's why I can't really be around a whole lot of people because
that's a lot.
It's like all of that or whatever. And so, but what I realized is what Stephen said was, I get to decide. I get to decide if I'm going to absorb that room, or do I stand in my power? Like, am I going to take on what everybody else is doing, or am I going to stand in my power and shine my light? And so, just learning how to hold your own vibration, just being clear that you can just keep your light on, or whatever. You don't have to succumb to what this person is doing. It doesn't mean that you're not compassionate. It doesn't mean you don't care about what their situation is, but by you going down into it with them, that's not doing anything to help them. But by you shining your light, that raises their vibration. Everybody humans seek to I guess to kind of be on the same plane. So if you're feeling it really high and I'm feeling really low, it's almost natural that my vibration is going to rise some and yours is going to lower. But what if I could just hold mine and then force yours up? And so that to me is like a goal.
And I like that you said that too, because I remember when I was on my when I was searching for a job, and right before I decided that this was going to be the position that I take, I remember talking to somebody and it was like, yeah, you know, this is such tough work. You know, I don't want that to be tough on your spirit. And for like a day, I was rolling with her. I was like, yeah, I don't want that. And then I was like, wait a minute. That ain't gonna, I'm not taking that on no way. Like, I'm gonna be here regardless. Like, so no. So yeah, I think that it is super important to know that, like, just attempt to hold your energy. And then the minute you keep your vibration and you hold that, you'll realize, oh, I can just be this at all times. So yeah.
It's like, you know, we're using the term "turn on your light," but really, if we're embodying it, we know our light is already on, right? And so it's like just shine, basically. Just go ahead and shine, you know.
It's funny because now at my job, people know what I do on social media, right? Whole vibe change. Everybody energy is a little bit different, right? Except for the fellas. I don't think the fellas, they don't know what I do, but the women in the office, they see what I do. And so it's almost like I see how their energy sort of slightly came up a bit, you know. It's, you know, I used to walk into the office and it was just dull. I mean, everybody sitting in the office looking at the desk. And, you know, I say, good morning, how y'all doing? Straight face. I don't know why I say good morning, nothing. And lately it's just been more of, you know, I walk in, smiling faces, you know. They got the coffee, you know, they want to talk a little bit. How was your day? What you do yesterday? I'm like, okay. So now I got to keep it up.
Yeah.
You know, but like you said, it goes back to what you were saying, you know, if you hear and if you can hold it, then that will get people to come up to your level. Time?
We at 23 minutes.
I like this episode.
Well, thank you guys for touching up on this topic with me.
Yeah, this was a great episode.
Thank y'all. I needed this one.
Yeah, me too. I think I'm gonna, you know, put a heart on this one and play it back as I continue this little journey that I'm on, and making sure that I keep shining. Even I won't keep doing like this. I'm just gonna shine.
There we go.
So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for joining us on this week's episode, and we look forward to chatting with you again next week. Until then, this is Arvette.
And this is Steve.
Jerome.
Rodney.
Bye.